thing. Oh, I suppose I also, for the show, have to share my screen with you. Here we go. There we go. Now I can put this down. Perfect. Everybody, this is pee-pee time, water time.
Pee-pee time!
Get a chicken sandwich time.
Chicken sandwich time. Hey Google, how long does it take to go through a Chick-fil-A drive-thru? I swear, if we make it to episode 4, the recap marquee at the top is going to say, "Today we name Franco's character." If it has to come to that.
Yo, Google.
Well, that's a good heads up. Yo, Google.
Yeah. Get him in now.
Mm-hmm.
Stream Deck, don't fail me now. Perfect. Oh, it's a beautiful thing when things are working.
Alright, I'm back from Chick-fil-A.
Nice.
Quick.
Dum dum. Okay, me. Let's see. Might be good to go a little bit early as long as everybody is here. I'm just gonna do a quick Instagram story.
Need to buy a new keyboard, apparently.
I was gonna say, why'd you pull your enter cap out?
God damn it.
Okay. All the players here? Who's here?
Hi.
All right.
Yep.
Gozira. Okay, just missing
I'm
Gozira
here.
then.
No,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
here.
okay. Awesome. I think
Thumbs
we're ready to
92 just
start.
subscribed.
Thanks, Tomish. All right, sending this out. Story, bam, bam, bam. Nice.
Yo, Kugo.
Gonna go ahead and roll a die until I get my one out of the way. There we go, that was quick. Okay, let's start this thing. Let's play some D&D, some Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Let's bring it on over to the working scene change in OBS using my stream deck. Hello!
Sweaty.
Yay! Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode. We're on number 3, the third day, and y'all are gonna see why it's called that on this day. Or on this night, because I believe, although it is very angelic in my background, in the game, we are still in the dark of night. Which makes sense and also doesn't make sense, for reasons we will find out soon. I'm so excited for the third episode here. Let's go around the horn and welcome in all of our lovely, lovely players. We got first and foremost, the mighty editor. It's Franco Nova. Say hello.
Evening, everybody.
Oh, wow. In character already. Gozira.
Hey, hey!
And then, also, if you have any announcements or things that you want to shout out or advertise, please do so. Jordan, welcome to the show again.
Thank you. It's me, Jordan.
And Caleb.
Hey, y'all.
Falcon Frags.
You got it. You got it.
Can we talk about what a weird thing it is that we're in this age where I have to remember my friends' real names, usernames, and character names all at the same time? I'm like doing the math in my head. All right. Anybody got any special announcements or things that they want to talk about before we get the show going? I know you guys are all excited to play today's session.
This pulled chicken pork is bomb, dude. Pulled chicken pork, barbecued chicken. My bad. There's no pork in this.
All right.
I don't think you can have pulled chicken.
Well, we'll find
pulled
out
it.
next time on Falcon's Food Confuses Him.
He's our chef.
Let's get started here. Okay? So, let me bring this down and recap what had happened in the last episode for you guys. and figure out if there is a better way to do this. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So the last time, you guys had just ended a scrap with the Mist Wyvern that not only had a wound in the center of its chest, but now, due to you guys, a wing missing as well. After it flew away, you found yourselves in front of the swirling, dark portal. Just as you were about to close up the portal with radiant energy, after discovering that radiant energy was causing the portal to seal, after Marstone reached out and saved some of you from falling in, he lost his weapon, falling into the maelstrom of this dark swirling energy. And just about as you were going to seal this portal, the Warforged in the group, with its childlike wonder, went over to still moving parts of the portal and reached down to inspect it and touched it. Upon making contact with the portal, he was drawn and sucked in. The party then devised a plan, a very, very, very intelligent plan, to tie themselves to each other with rope and then jump in, one after another. We all know how that went. With no other option, Gabriel leaped in as well. As they fell down into a dark, mysterious, fleshy, cobwebby-like cave, they were met with a creature, pale gray, with hooks into its back that were later revealed to be chitinous spider-like legs that reached down into the gross floor made of some kind of dark flesh. And this creature proceeded to, quote-unquote, test, quote-unquote, the beetle. Upon defeating the enemies, monstrosities down in this worm-filled, fleshy cave, they begged for the creature to help find them a way back, in which the creature was happy to oblige, reopened the portal somewhat easily, and all of the players, one by one, were helped or jumped into the upside-down vortex that was this portal. At the last moment, Zyxx had a few cutting words for the creature before leaping into the portal himself. Erupting back into the forest. It was still nighttime, but nearby there were guards from Arithon Keep who were utterly shocked at the sight that they had just seen. The player characters emerging from this portal once again. After one of them retreated back to the keep to alert Chinara of their reemergence, the other guard, in passing, had described to them that it in fact had been 3 days since they went in. Everyone headed back to Arithon Keep, and it seemed there was an airship parked about 200 yards south of the gate of the keep. It was the middle of the night, and there was a fresh batch of soldiers both coming in, carrying supplies, and soldiers shuffling out. And in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the night, upon entering the keep, Chinara was there, waiting for them, with half of a smile on her face. And that is where we begin episode 3, the third day of the Mighty Dungeons Eberron campaign. Let's roll some dice. The world of Eberron and the catastrophic magical nuke that set off the Mourning, a towering 1,000-foot-tall wall of thick mist that erupted and consumed 1/4 of the entire continent. Every single D&D sourcebook alludes to maybe what caused it, but there's no official answer. So that's why every Friday, 5 p.m. PST, twitch.tv/Kugo the Mighty, we're gonna find out together. I'm sorry, was that immersion breaking? Should we go back to the thing? Players, welcome back to Arthon Keep. As Chinara stands in the middle of the keep, you see looming over the background of the walls of the keep, completely encroaching and absorbing the place where the river once was, is the edge of the Mournlands. What do you do?
Can you describe like what's kind of going on, like who's around us and?
Make a perception check.
Sure. 16.
16, yeah. So there are soldiers brushing past you, some of them in more generic wear, some of them holding crates and barrels, some of them are dressed in more regaled equipment that you have seen like in the barracks. There were some banners hanging and some of the barrels had some markings on them that were the marks of the dragon-marked house that Chinara is from, Madani. And so some of them appear to be more freelance, some of them appear to be direct from House Madani, and yeah, there's soldiers coming in and out. You saw the airship a little ways away, a little ways south. Let's see if I can draw it down. Yep, it's parked, you can kind of still see it. There's like a string of soldiers coming to and fro. The airship. And once in a while, you'll see a soldier will come up to Chinara, and she's just looking at you guys from about 30, 40 feet away in the middle of the square, and she holds up a hand and just ignores any soldiers that come up to her, and they immediately turn around and go in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making my way towards her.
I don't think she wants to talk to us. She's sending everybody away, so, I mean...
Maybe that's the reason why.
I'm gonna go with Gabriel because I got some stuff I want to ask her.
I will follow.
Okay. Everybody going?
Yep.
As a group?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. You approach, and standing alone in the square, another soldier kind of comes up to her, and you see... a soldier comes up and is like, Lord Chinara, She holds her hand up again and takes a couple steps forward towards Gabriel, who has stepped forward first.
I like nudge Gabriel and like.
Well,
I look over it. Darling, what?
we have a few things to trade. Come with me.
Trade?
And she escorts you over to one building. There's 4 main buildings here. She escorts you to one that is across from the barracks. It's a different building, however. She walks up to the building and kind of waves you guys on.
Yeah, I go.
I'll follow.
Okay. She gets out a ring of keys and starts fumbling with them before sliding a key into this larger door and then opening it up. And she holds it open for you all and kind of stands in the doorway.
Yeah, I go in.
Same.
Okay. As you guys enter in, let's do a quick scene change here. So as you guys enter in, you see that it's a smaller version of the room where the barracks were, which was more suited for just like lots of people to rest and eat at the same time, large open space. This is a smaller, more private version, but inside here you do see sets of bunks for bunk beds, and then you also see one long rectangular table and it appears to be sort of like a smaller version of the barracks, but there's nobody else in here. And as you guys all kind of like funnel in, another soldier comes up to Chinara, and she and him whisper a couple things to each other. And then she turns and closes the door and enters into the room with you guys. Well, you must be very tired. Would you like to have a seat?
I want to know what's going on.
Perfect. As do I. Have a seat. There's some food over there. She points over and you see that there are some... They're not terribly fancy, but there's a bunch of platters that have lids over them, almost like those buffet lids. And you guys can all kind of smell that there is indeed some kind of nice food smell. There's some herbs in the air, a little bit of a roasted smell. And you all kind of look over to that long table. There's a large tablecloth across this large rectangular table, and the tablecloth has the House Madani symbols all over it. And then there are 3 large platters that have been laid out. There also appears to be a keg over in the corner with a spout, like, coming out from the front of it. Also has a Madani symbol on the front of it.
Marstone will pull a draft of whatever's in the keg and have a seat.
So there's a bunch of mugs and cups around the keg, and I don't know if this is going to upset you or not, but what comes out is just water.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand there and watch, like look at everybody sitting down and grabbing stuff to eat or drink, and I'm gonna turn towards Shannara. I don't believe we have time for this kind of conversation. Couldn't we have this talk on the way out of here?
And what has brought you to that conclusion, young one?
I point towards, if there's any window, I point towards the wall that's like right next to the keep.
You look around and there's no wall. There are some windows, but the windows just kind of like look out into a wall, into like one of the walls on the outside of the keep.
Well, for
so it's not really a
starters,
view.
I wouldn't enjoy going back to the other side, and it seems to be very, very close.
Yes.
Indeed. There's a lot of expansion for only 3 days.
That's correct. That's very correct. But, as it is my job, you may leave that up to me. And I'd be happy to answer any of the questions you might have, but it's also my job to figure... I'm sorry?
You're not going to leave?
No, not unless the fort is no longer operable. This is my job.
At the rate the mist is going, it's going to consume everyone in here.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we had an expert on the mist in our midst.
Yeah, funny sentences aside, I think that you could die with the mist coming after you.
Wow. More revelations. Is there anything else anyone would like to tell me about the mist that I've been watching for the last year?
Miss Charlana, ma'am. What happened to your elephant? It's been bugging me. Ever since we got back, he's been gone.
Marstone, was it?
No. Darrow.
I'm not talking to you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Marstone, Gabriel. Your friends can rest. Come with me. She gets up and starts to leave the building.
I look back at Marstone.
I kind of meet his eye, and then I look at the rest of the group and give a shrug.
I'm gonna stand right next to Marstone and I'm gonna follow. First, I don't need rest, like he doesn't need or he doesn't want to rest, and second, he's completely unaware of what's happening.
Can I
Or
follow
social
too?
cues.
I mean, you can do anything you want. This is D&D, baby.
Can we sneak and follow them?
So she is at the doorway, open. She's in the doorway, opening the door, holding it open, and waiting for Marstone Gabriel.
Gotcha.
We'll get some answers and we'll be back.
Hey, find out about the elephant for me, please.
I roll my eyes. And then I follow her.
All right. She leads you two out. As soon as you two leave, she closes the door.
On my face.
Yeah.
Now tilt my head and then turn around and go back to the group then.
So, first and foremost, before we get to them, Zyxx, Darrow, and Mr. Warforged, you guys are in these quarters. Here, let me swap this over for you so that you get more of the vibe here. Let's see. There we go. You're inside these private quarters. Pretty nice. Looks like it's been outfitted for a smaller group of soldiers, maybe of a little bit higher stature. There's food, water. Is there anything you guys would like to do or say or rest or leave? It's up to you.
How many people are in here with us?
Nobody, just you guys.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna.
You're completely
eat some
alone.
Food and probably lay down in a corner, not like on a comfy boat or a comfy bed or anything or a chair, but like huddle up in the corner and just kind of, because like I'm beat up. I'm real beat up.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so you guys can go get some food. There is a plethora of fresh greens, vegetables, salads. There are pickled goods. There's all sorts of pickled vegetables, actual pickles. And then there's also a platter that has a bunch of different meats in them. Some of them salted and dried out. Some of them actually quite fresh, and they appear to be soaking in some kind of gravy-like substance that smells really good. It's really rich, has a bunch of spices and herbs in it, and once again, you're thinking the first thing that you think of is there must be a chef in this fort somewhere, because this stuff is not stuff that is just put in barrels and brought out. And then you go take a seat on some of the bunks, and these bunks look a little bit more comfy than the ones that were in the general barracks. You go have a seat, and you guys can do a short rest to roll hit dice or whatever you like. You would know, I mean, we are in the middle of the night right now, as far as that you can tell. It is late in the evening, maybe about midnight, 1 a.m. All right, and I guess we'll swap on over to Marstone and Gabriel as Chanara confidently, along the way through the center of town, other guards and people in uniform will come by, and she has quick little conversations and dismisses them. You're walking about 10, 15 feet behind her. She confidently, with speed, heads over to the tower where you initially were brought, her like main officer tower. She stops like right in front of the double doors and turns around to you.
Some of our companions inside to be tended to. Do you have any doctors on staff, or?
Yes, that I do. Hold steady. You, there. Yes, go ahead. She goes over to one of the guards and kind of has an aside, puts one arm on their arm and like pulls them in close. They nod a couple times, and then the guard heads off to the gate, to the front gate of the keep, and he goes to leave. She turns back to you and just says, I'll have someone go check on them.
Thank you.
She opens the double doors, and as she opens them, she kind of turns, holds it open for you, and says, so they are your companions?
Yes.
When you entered my keep for the first time, it was under different circumstances, I remember.
Well, different circumstances have happened.
I'm eager to hear about them. Please come in.
I nod and head on in.
Okay. As you two enter, let's do this. She closes the double doors. You see the familiar sight of the officer tower, bottom floor littered with Jam's laboratory, stairs leading upward to a fancier sort of command floor. You can see a huge table up there, a bunch of papers all over the place, a bunch of papers and schematics and maps all over the walls up there. Chanara goes and grabs a chair, and then goes and grabs 2 stools from one of Jam's workbenches and brings them over to you, sets them down, and then sits down on the chair herself.
I take a seat.
I apologize if I was a little stern, but I have a very important job, and things aren't necessarily going swimmingly around here as of late, so I need to be brief, and I need to be blunt. I need to find out what happened to you. My scouts went up and relayed information back to me, and then they hadn't seen you. I assumed you either left home or were dead. So, you can imagine the surprise of my guards once they saw you reappear. I haven't had time to go up to the forest myself. As you can see, things are quite dire outside. So, what happened up there?
I glance over at Marstone.
I kind of nod briefly at him and turn back to Chanara and kind of retell the story of what happened. We located the anomaly, whatever you'd like to call it. A deep black pool in the woods. When we got there, we were set upon by whatever winged shaded creature you took a chunk out of.
The stalker from the wall, yes.
Yes.
Did you kill it?
I don't believe so. Wounded it further, but I don't think it's dead.
Well, he is hoping it doesn't return to the wall. Go on.
During this battle, a few things happened that led us into the pool. Essentially, the Warforged fell in an effort to retrieve him, we were all pulled in ourselves. This is where things become a little fuzzy for me. It was very dark. I remember being stuck. Gabriel, perhaps you can fill in some blanks.
It was
So,
evil.
I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws right now.
Boy, I'm good at wisdom saving throws if my dice are good, which they are not, and that's a 6.
I got a 10.
Okay. So, Marstone, you can remember most of what happened. Aside from whatever that creature was saying, you no longer remember the words that came out of its mouth. It's almost like your memory of the creature speaking, in your memories, it's just some language you don't understand.
Okay.
Gabriel, the more you think about what happened inside the portal, the more your imagination starts to take over the memory of it, and your imagination starts turning the memories of it into almost like the memories of a nightmare. And it's hard to even like recollect exactly what happened. But she ushers you to continue and says, "What was down there? Where did you go? Smells, people, places, things, anything defining. Was it the mist?"
No,
No,
not the mist.
worse. It was
Worse?
like every fear that you could imagine. Just thinking about it, and he kind of looks down.
The place itself felt alive. I was stuck in some kind of organic matter. The ground was not made of stone. The walls seemed to move. Without a source of light, the darkness was infinite and unyielding.
Claustrophobic.
The creatures beneath the surface, grotesque, mutated. The stuff of nightmares.
I see, and how did you return?
I'm not entirely certain our goblin friend spoke the language. I did not understand. But one of the creatures, with legs coming from its back as though it were some kind of spider,
Right,
was able to usher us back through.
I think I've heard enough. Do you think of this goblin as a threat?
I have my reservations, but no, I don't believe he is dangerous.
Chinara's tattoo lights up on her neck.
Okay.
I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That one's a natty 20, baby.
Ooh.
Get out of my head.
You guys both saw the tattoo kind of glow.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't say anything. Right. Well, if there's any information you need from me, I suppose I owe you some, whatever you need. And also, one last thing. My guard said that it looked mostly sealed at this point, with some cracking.
That is the work of our young flamekeeper.
I did my best.
She looks over to you, Gabriel. She lets out the most forced, faint smile. She gets up out of her chair. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to insight check her.
Okay, go for it.
Get these out of the way. Natural 1 for a 5.
It's a forced smile. She doesn't seem like she's in a terribly great mood. It's very, very political smile. And she gets up out of her chair, goes over to a large vault next to a workbench and touches a few things on it, opens it, comes back. Sets down a small pouch in your lap, Gabriel. It sort of jingles as it lands in your lap, as you assume it's full of some sort of coin. Chinara says, "You've helped protect the border, and in doing so, have helped do my job, and the job we are all being paid to do by your country, so it's only just. It's a shame. We could, despite how motley your crew is, could certainly use some more people around here that could tolerate such atrocities, but very few reinforcements that come are ill-prepared for what they deal with while they're on their tours here. I'm sure your countries and the places where you are from are worried about you. If you need to head home, as far as I'm concerned, your check-ins are done.
I am in no rush to return. This seems a bigger job than something just a check-in would warrant. I offer you my help.
Curious of... You said it already. You've seen how fast it's expanding. You're a good leader. I'm scared that the mist is going to overtake this. And what then?
She walks over, gets up, walks over to you, puts her hand on your shoulder, Gabriel, and she says, "Do not be scared. That's what it wants." And she lets out another forced smile, takes her hand off your shoulder, and says, "I've been here for a year. I won't be leaving this fort until it's completely overrun, if that event does happen. I'll deal with the aftermath in the way that is appropriate. You don't need to worry about us. We're all trained as much as we can be for what has happened. Everyone that's here knows the odds. I'm sure you guys need some rest, but if there's anything else you'd like to know.
I do have a few questions.
By all means.
What do you know about this pool? If anything.
There have been some other, as you call them, anomalies from time to time. But nothing that's pushed up to the forest, nothing that's that far away from the wall. So I was just curious about any correlation, but nothing other than what one of the soldiers saw. And you can see, make an insight check right now.
Another natty 20, baby.
Oh my gosh.
I'm on fire.
17.
All right. So you definitely notice something choke her up as she mentions a soldier.
And this soldier, I believe we saw him return. How is he?
Oh, he's fine.
And
What happened to the 6 soldiers?
After you left 3 days ago, that evening they crawled out of the barracks, covered in mist. And they attacked some of the other soldiers.
I'm sorry to hear.
Like I said, all of us here are prepared.
But no loss of men is good.
Coming from a warrior from Karnath, that means quite a lot.
My last inquiry is one that our shifter friend made. I have not seen Jam.
What is your interest with Jam?
Merely concern for his well-being at this point.
Do you hear that, Jam? And you guys look behind the giant device, and you slowly start to see him creep his big albino hippo-like head out from the side of this thing. It looks like he was just trying to be really quiet and just not wanting to be a part of the social situation. So you see him kind of flick his monocle back down and then slowly go back. And now you can kind of hear him. He's tinkering with something, but now he's not trying to be quiet. So you hear him like working on something. Chinara kind of turns back to you too and just says, he has a very particular set of skills, and socializing is not one of them. That's not why we brought him here.
Yeah, I have noticed. And I believe he still owes me a lesson on one of your fancy... What do you call those? And I point to the... If there's one of those guns visible, like if she's got one on her back or...
Yep. She always has that rifle on her.
Okay. Yeah, then
Yeah.
I'm going to point to that.
It's holstered. Yeah. This, yes. This is a very special firearm. Jam made this for me just before the first tour here, so about a little over a year ago. They are not easy to master, but with the right sort of tinkerer, artificer hands, you can certainly punch a hole in a wyvern or two.
As I've seen,
Yes.
they're very impressive, and I would be very interested in studying them.
Jam
At
has
some
made it
point.
very clear to me that it may explode at any given time as well. She rolls her eyes and looks back at Jam, who is clearly pretending to be quiet again and hiding.
I believe that's all the questions I have for the time being.
You're welcome to use that, the private barracks for the evening if you wish to rest, but just know that every moment at this point going forward is high alert at Arithon Keep, as you've seen by how close the wall is. What is it you intend to do if morning comes? And I don't mean that ironically.
My intention is to remain here, at least for a little while, see things through.
And you, Keeper of the Flame?
As much as I like to have that courage, I feel my part is, I kind of just move my head back and forth. And I don't mean any disrespect, but I feel my part is bigger than that. There's an evil brewing under our feet in our woods. I feel like that's my calling.
So you are to return. Where is it that you came from? Flamekeep?
I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. How do you say it? Traylon, right?
Ah, Traylon. Why would they send a soldier outfitted from Traylon? Such a small town.
Backwater flame keepers need experience too.
I suppose. Yes. Indeed, it sounds like your piece of the puzzle fits elsewhere. I'm not one to get in the way of fate. But any moment that you spend here, as long as you're keeping a close eye out on your other companions, who seem to be more concerned with making quips and calling me by my wrong name, then you may have those private barracks, and we would be glad to have your aid should anything else happen on the border.
I'll be here as long as I can.
Well, it shouldn't be hard to find me in the keep. Let me know what your plans are, and if I need you, I'll come find you.
Very well. We shall now take our leave, if you don't mind.
And I stand up.
I stand up as well and nod at her and then turn and walk.
Just kind of over my shoulder on the way out, I give like a little wave and say, "Farewell, Jam. Glad to see you're still with us."
Make a charisma check.
So bad.
Oh no.
I guess I'll just roll it out. It's gonna be a 13.
13. You see him poke his head out from behind the giant device that he's working on. Sticks a couple huge hippo-like fingers out. Doesn't wave them, just kind of sticks them out, and then slowly goes back behind the machine.
Like a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys head back out into the fort. In the middle of the night, you guys are beginning to get very tired.
As we are walking back to these barracks, I'm gonna kind of like nudge him on the shoulder with my elbow. And I'll tell him, "You're a very skilled healer, but you're a fool if you don't think these two things are intertwined."
It's not that I don't think that they're intertwined, but I think, and I'm just looking around and I kind of lower my voice. I don't think this keep's going to be here for much longer.
Well, then let me give you some assurance. It certainly will not be. At the rate of expansion the wall has made, it's not likely it will be more than 2 days before the keep is consumed. But we will evacuate like all others.
I don't think she has any intention on evacuating.
I doubt she does. But that is
Or her
hers.
soldiers here.
They will make that decision of their own free will when the time comes.
And what would you do?
I would stay here until the very last. Not to die, but just to be certain.
I'm gonna point towards the mist. If that thing consumes you, there's no coming back.
I'm well aware. I have seen its treachery.
I think you're a good man.
Perhaps someday I will think the same of you. But for now, you are young and foolish, and my respect is yet to be earned.
Those are your opinions to have.
Indeed. I'm going to finish off the mug of water that I've got and make way to the barracks.
Okay.
Yep.
At this point, you hear a voice. A guard, dressed in more generic armor, comes up to you in the middle of the keep. And comes up to Gabriel, who's wearing a little bit less intimidating attire, and kind of taps you on the shoulder, Gabriel, and you turn and you see a guard. And the guard looks up, younger like you, and said, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. Just, we've been hearing lots of stories. You're the ones that came down from the forest, are you not?"
Yeah.
He looks around, then looks back at you. Well, also, just wanted to say thanks. After we lost Hale and Tim, they mentioned you, how hopeful you were. I'm about to hop on the airship to head back to Rote, but just some of the guys were just curious as to what might have happened up in the forest. Been hearing stories, and a couple of them came back and said a few things, but it kind of sounded like they were lying or they didn't see what happened. Just curious if you might enlighten some of us that are going home.
Nothing that's hasn't been taken care of. I'm gonna give a smile.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much for your time.
Get some rest.
He turns and starts walking towards the exit, towards the gates. Where are you guys going?
Heading back to the barracks.
Yep.
All right. You guys... The door opens as you guys are relaxing and eating food. And Gabriel and Marstone walk back in by themselves.
I'm standing right next to the door. I wasn't eating.
He's still trying to open up the door, and
He kind of catches me off guard.
hits
Yeah.
my face again. You gotta try this food. That's really good.
It smells wonderful.
Are we not leaving then?
Not yet.
By my calculations, the wall is moving 13 feet a day. If it keeps the same pace as the last 3 days.
Well, how long will it take to reach the end of Khorvaire? Math for Franco, sorry.
Computing.
He just shuts down.
Loading.
There's like springs
Sparks.
popping out. Yeah.
Starts smoking.
I am unaware of what Khorvaire is.
He has much to learn.
Well, we all better learn how to swim if we want to get away from that mist, or we figure out how to stop it.
I would vote on the latter. I quite like my home, and I'd rather it wasn't consumed.
I agree.
Hey, Gabriel, what happened to Jam?
He's alive.
He's good. He's safe.
He's
Not
busy.
very talkative, but
Yeah, that's typical Jam.
Have you known him for long?
No, just as long as you guys have known him, but he didn't ever really do anything. He's kind of like the Warforge.
I suppose that's not too far from the truth. But
Wait,
you're more
what?
wise, though. No, he's not a robot.
You said he was like the Warforged.
Socially, not adept.
why did that thing call you Beetle?
That's a good question.
Beetle. I try to ponder through the memory again, but it's the thing that I wanted to talk to Zyxx about. I can no longer. recall.
So
That's funny.
I also need Darrow to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. 8.
8. Okay. So when you try to remember what happened after going into the swirling black portal, you seem to remember the wyvern. And the wyvern was just like plucking at and eating a bunch of flesh. And then you saw the great tree that you learned your druidcraft from in the corner, just like broken to pieces and then slowly melting into the flesh. And as you like remembering all these like horrible imaginative nightmares, it blends into your actual memories of the place that you were, and it's hard to even like remember. You remember beetle because that was a word that was clearly spoken, but the rest of the creatures or the creature's speech is now just this garbled mess of nightmarish memory, and it's hard to recall exactly what happened down there.
Beetle was a name my mother called me when I was very small. I'm not really sure why they would call me that.
I like to see if he's lying to me.
Sure. Roll insight check. Zyxx, if you're telling the truth. Persuasion, if you're lying. Roll deception.
You don't have to roll very high. My roll's been crap tonight.
Sorry, I'm looking at my thing here. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what I rolled, whether it was persuasion or deception, but it was 7.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, there's more to this story. And I think it's like a half truth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and if Kugo wants me to give more away, I can, but I think
No, that's sufficient. That's good.
Gabriel kind of just shakes his head while he's saying that. There is something else going on here. Something bigger than all of us. And if you know something, you need to tell us.
I know that there are terrible things locked within Eberron. The great dragon wrapped around the evil dragon Kyber and all of the
I
terribleness.
don't care about a history. I care about what we just went through.
We just went to the inside of the world. The down below, the whatever you want to call it, where all those evil things live. And I'm worried that and he'll point out at the mist, is the realm below coming above, and that the monsters that are kept there are coming back to the surface.
And what's your intentions?
We need to stop it. All goblins have to stop it. We're supposed to protect this place. We can't. There's no other home for us. This is it. You die or you win.
Here, here.
And you, Darrow?
I'm with Zyxx. He's my buddy. We've been together for a while now. We've been through a lot of stuff. I got my powers with him, you know. He found out about some stuff going on in his past. I'm with him, man.
And I look over to the Warforged. And you, still don't have a name.
That is correct.
Let's call him Warfy.
I'm still with him choosing.
Do you want to be called Warfy or Johnny Number 5? That's
That
your two
second
options.
name is
Or-
absolutely ridiculous. It's off the table.
What would you like to be called?
You emerged from the mist, unscathed but
Misty.
with no memory.
I mean,
Quite miraculous,
Scathe
really.
is a pretty cool name. Like, he came out unscathed. We could call him Scathe. Like, I mean, I had a pig named Scathe once. He was a really good guy.
That's a pretty cool name, Zyxx. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
thank you,
I'm kind of with you on that, actually. It's a little intimidating. Might make up for his lack of worldly experience.
What do you say?
I am confused. But what I do know is that I do not want to return to the other side of that wall. And I can assure you, you will not enjoy your stay. We should not stay here for longer.
We're gonna protect you, buddy. But the first thing we gotta do is get you a name. So pick Johnny Number 5,
So,
Warfy, or Scathe.
I am still confused. I am not aware of why choosing a name is so important for you beings.
Because we don't even know what to call you. We just
The
point
way-
at you.
To identify friends.
Yeah. You know, so Darrow, he's always looking at me and he's like, Zyxx. And I'm like, yeah, what? And he does that because we're
I'm like,
friends.
Zyxx, are you gonna let them talk to me like this?
Yeah,
We've
see,
been through a
that's what
lot.
I'm talking. Shut up. Okay. So, we're friends. I can say that. That's how it works.
Best
But when I go to you, I'm like, hey, 4 question marks. I gotta get something out of that. It's hard. And we want to be your friend. We want to help you.
Why do you want to help me?
Because we love you, man. We've been through a lot together. We went through a freaking portal in the ground, and well, I don't remember anything but horrible things and Beetle. But I know some crazy stuff happened down there, and it's terrifying. And I don't actually really want to talk about it anymore. But we went through that together, and we're friends now.
And if I'm being honest, you leaving that mist there's a connection there, and you could be the key to stopping the entire thing. And I can't let you just walk away. We gotta figure out yourself and your origin. A name helps.
There is no stopping the wall. There is no stopping what is inside it. You all should run. We all should run. I don't
Whatever you
want
say,
to
Skaith.
go back there.
If we don't do anything and we just run, eventually the mist is going to catch up.
Why stop at the borders of Khorvaire? It may take over all of Eberron.
Yeah, it's gonna get to us at some point. We might as well do what we can now.
And if not us, then our descendants. Definitely you.
Listen, two things came out of the mist. One was that creepy dragon, and our good friend Skaith the Warforged here. So I think a good place to start, and maybe we can get the blessings of this whole operation, is to go hunting that dragon and finding out what it is and where it came from.
Amen.
It's a good start.
I'm agreed. I would like to spend some time with the Warforged. Show him some of my notes, perhaps get him caught up on certain events.
Well, it seems like we all have common interests.
So we will stay here tonight.
For tonight at least, yes.
That's the plan. I'm exhausted. Need some food, some rest. We can reconvene in the morning.
Then I will let you know if we are all about to die. Good night.
Good,
Thanks,
thank you.
Skaith. Love you.
I'm gonna walk outside and I'm gonna climb on top of one of the walls. And I'm just gonna sit there facing the wall, the mist wall.
I secretly wish you would have just your eyes just went dark and you went, and you just But what you did is way cooler. I'm sorry.
So you all
I'm gonna
see,
eat some food and head to
yeah.
bed.
So you see the Warforged say goodnight, open the door, and shut the door behind him. And then everybody, you guys are all gonna eat some food and go to sleep.
I'm gonna take a plate and I'm gonna head up to where the Warforged is at with my bag.
Okay. Also, I should say, actually, I can DM you that. That's fine. So, where are you headed, Mr. Warforged? I'm not sure if you've accepted a name yet or not.
Not at all.
All right. So, you're heading up onto the battlements?
Yes, the first stairs that I could find, just to get up there and get a good view of the wall.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm just gonna start walking and stop at the very edge, and just sit there and stare.
If you pass a guard, the guard will turn to you and just say, "Excuse me, who are you?"
I turn around, I look at him, and I tilt my head to the side, like I always do. I am yet to figure that one out, soldier. And I'm gonna turn around and keep walking, and then stop, like maybe 2 meters away.
All right, that kind of fucks him up a little bit. Okay, he's double takes a couple times, and then he starts walking over to this other soldier, and then you make your way.
Crisis.
So, you go out to the turret, and you can see the wall, man. It is like, let's see. I mean, we're talking like 25, 30 feet, maybe, away from you. Like, you see it turning. You start seeing visions. For a moment, you feel like you can see the outline of the house that you came out of in the smoke, and then it disappears. You can see a giant claw against the clouds as it dissipates in the night sky. Hands reaching out. Anything you imagine that has like a negative connotation starts to form in the wall.
I'm gonna stare at one specific point. I'm gonna just stand there, and I'm gonna start standing very, very still, and starting engaging my like stasis sleep awareness weird thing that I do because I don't need to sleep.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna do prior to that is focusing on one specific point on the ground, close to the edge of the wall, and I'm gonna use holo projection to cast minor image and do a little line in front of my eyes, so I know at what point the wall is, and if I see the wall beyond that line that I cast, that I'm setting my eyes on the same point and standing very still, I would be like alerted that it's moving a little faster than I was expected.
Okay, so a few moments pass, and you're alerted not by your magic, but by a pat on your shoulder from behind. And do you turn?
Yeah.
All right, you turn and you see
sideways.
Marstone.
Is it raining or is it just night?
It's the middle of the night.
Okay. Hello.
Thought you might be able to use some company up here. Perhaps. And I'm gonna set my plate down on one of the turrets on the battlements, and I'm going to pull out a notebook and just kind of flip through some of the pages. If you're interested, a history lesson.
What history? Yours or this place or some other place?
Kind of all of them at once, I suppose.
Okay, I need to keep an eye on the wall though.
Then I suppose I could read to you, if you'll listen.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna have a seat with my back to the mist. Having ridden the boat all the way down here, within some proximity to it, I know how it can affect you and the things that you might see. So I make an effort to not look directly into it. I take a few bites of the food that I've got, and I crack open one of my notebooks, and I begin to read the kind of history of the origin of the mist in the morning. And I kind of begin with, the day of mourning was an event in which the nation of Seer was destroyed in a magical holocaust. The year was 994 YK. And then I just continue as he sits there and does his kind of guard, his watching, until I begin to get drowsy.
Okay. Mr. Warforged, make a wisdom saving throw as you hear the word seer.
Oh boy. Wisdom saving throw. It is a natural 20.
Oh, nice. Okay. So as he starts reading out his logs, his writings of the history of the Mournland, a couple key words kind of jab you in your mind like pinpricks. And as he says Siri, you have a vision of a hand waving at some sort of train. And there are three figures. One larger figure, two smaller figures, hanging off the edge of this train, and they're waving back. And then you look down at this magical sort of infrared line that you have down at the ground just in front of the wall. And it kind of snaps you out of it, actually, for a moment. And you just hear the droning sound of Marstone's voice as he's continuing to rattle off words. And it takes you a minute to kind of recalibrate.
Was there a train?
I pause for a moment and... Yes, there was a lightning rail that travels all over the continent of Khorvaire. Certainly went into Seer.
Yes, a train.
Did you have a memory?
I am not 100% sure of that, but a train and someone waving goodbye to some other people, maybe, on a train.
I begin to kind of flip through some of the other pages as the idea that his recollection may have been sparked by some of these notes kind of starts to sink in. I say, perhaps we'll travel to another point in time, pre-morning. I can tell you a little bit about some of the cities of Seer. Before the war, during the war. And I'll start reading off some of those notes.
Sure. There comes a time where you're a soldier, Marstone. So
Yeah.
you could tell me like where your sort of constitution lies, but it's probably like getting to be 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Okay.
So you're probably getting a little bit tired.
Definitely getting a little tired,
Yeah.
especially with the activities of the day. So
Yeah.
as I begin to kind of talk about some of these places, I realize that I'm kind of drooping and dropping the book, and I look up and I said, my apologies, I seem to be dozing off. Will you be all right out here?
Yes, I believe so. If I were not to be alright, you wouldn't know. The wall would have eaten me.
Well, don't let that happen. You come find me. I'll be in the barracks. It's been quite some time since I've been in a comfortable bed. And I get up and I stretch. So I'm going to treat myself.
A good sleep, Marstone.
Have a good watch. Hopefully we'll come up with a name for you soon. Good night.
Good night.
And I'll take my leave.
Alrighty. You're gonna stay there, Marstone.
I am.
You're gonna go back to the barracks.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's gonna get some rest, or try to.
Yep.
Okay. Zyxx, I need you to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
As everybody falls to sleep.
And that is a 14 perception.
Shortly after you fall asleep, maybe about a half an hour in, you feel something crawling on your neck.
What? Huh? Ah, Henry, my bug. What?
So you
What?
you look down, and it is not one of your bugs.
Ooh, I don't like that. What do I see?
It is the worm that you received. This white hairy worm writhes in your hand as you grab it on your neck.
Okay. It's
Everybody else can make perception checks too to see if that wakes you up.
yeah, I'm probably making a noise because I'm startled, and I'm probably gonna fling it across the room.
Okay.
Like, Like I'm thinking, like, what would you do? You'd be like, ah! Like
20.
I mean, if you roll above like a 10, you hear Zyxx freak out, wake up in the middle of the night, and you're throwing it.
yeah, probably
you-
not at my friends, but just
Yeah,
like,
you
away
throw it
from
across the room and it hits the wall, the wooden wall of the barracks, and falls to the ground and starts just writhing on the ground in place like a worm that's on soil looking for water or something. It's just kind of writhing in place. This white, grayish, hairy worm, maybe about the size of your hand, the length of your hand.
I wake up and I'm like, Zyxx, what the heck, man? And I look
Oh.
where he's looking and see this nasty, disgusting worm on the ground and just, ugh.
Yeah, it must have gotten into my clothes and followed me. We got to kill it. It should be here.
I try to step on it.
Alrighty. Anybody else do anything? Anybody else wake up during that?
If I see Darrow going over to step on it, I'm going to resheath the dagger under my pillow and roll back over.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not sure if Gabriel's even here. So,
He's still asleep.
So he's sleeping. Yeah, he's tired young boy. Yeah, you step on it and you crush it. What kind of boots or shoes are you wearing?
Just leather.
Okay. You step on it and you hear the squish and a high-pitched whistle like a teapot for a brief second, and then you hear a hissing sound coming from your leather boot, and the bile that comes out from this worm has started to burn into the bottom of your boot, eating away at it a little bit.
Okay, take it off real fast.
Okay. It definitely burnt like a nice hole into it, but it stops. And it still looks wearable. The hole didn't burn all the way through to the sole, but like it's a pretty decent mark in the bottom of it where you squished it, and it just lays there, squished and dead.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your foot, but boy, those things that's creepy, you know? Like,
What is it, Zyxx? You're the bug expert, and I squished it, and now there's a hole in my shoe.
yeah, let me ask my nature and see if I know what this thing is. Sorry, may I do a nature check, sir?
Yeah, sure.
18.
This is the worm that was offered to you by the creature in Khorvaire. And it is not a worm that is natural to the surface. It is from that world.
Yeah, it's alien. It's an abomination. I think they want me to work with them or some. I'm not sure, but it's all a blur, right?
Should I or should I have not just squished this, Zyxx?
No, I mean I think it's good.
Everybody wakes up. Everybody
Like, I don't-
cannot sleep with Darrow yelling.
Because how many creepy bugs do you need running around in the world? Like,
Yeah, I don't like
I mean that thing.
bugs.
Like, yeah, maybe we could have used it for like lock picking with its acid blood, but I don't know. I mean, if I walked up to you and I gave you an apple core as a gift, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" I would not be offended if you threw it away. It's kind of the same thing. Like, what do you do with a worm?
I just need to know what the repercussions are going to be of me squishing this bug that you got from people that you were supposed to work with.
I think your boot has become probably divine, as it is now holy. Ha ha ha! That's right, hey Darrow.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah, okay. We should get some sleep.
Gabriel, you die. Your character just dies. Sorry.
Oh, that escalated fast.
Carry on the mission.
I thought I had
Gabriel!
Gabriel, you're woken up from your sleep with Zyxx and Darrow arguing.
Can we please go to bed?
No, we have a serious problem here, Gabriel.
We can talk about it in the morning.
A giant fat bug was thrown across the room, and then I kind
We're
of panicked.
talking about a bug.
Well, it was more than a
I
bug.
mean, it's really more of a worm. An insect.
A man's
6 legs.
hand. Huge. And I thought I was supposed to squish it, so I squished it. And when I squished it, it literally burnt a hole in my foot. And now Zyxx is telling me that somebody gave him this as a gift.
Be silent or I'll squish you as well.
He's a goblin. Of course he has bugs.
Yeah, but he says it's not one of his bugs. It's a bug that somebody gave him. I don't even know who gave it to him.
Can we just discuss this in the morning, please?
I feel like this is really important.
I'll take it outside then. I'm gonna roll over.
Good night. As I like yell.
Good night. Love you guys.
All right, good night.
Love you, Gabriel.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
That was a good one, Zyxx.
As you all tuck in and try to get some rest, you guys all sleep for as long as you need to sleep to hit that long rest button on your character sheet.
Oh, thank God.
Yay.
It's been so
Oscar
long since I've been able to do this in an Eberron game.
You guys wake up in the morning to the sun beating down over the keep.
How far is the wall?
The wall has not moved from its location.
Oh. Okay.
I wake up and I go over and I like real quietly shake Gabriel. I'm like, Gabe, can we talk about the bug now?
Let's get some food in our belly.
Okay.
There we go. So, you guys wake up, and there is still some food left over. Do you guys leave? Tell me, you guys, where you want to go, what you want to do. The sun rises again.
I want to talk about this bug.
Just clarifying, the military people are staying here, right? Like that's their mission is to just guard this place.
If that's the assumption that you're making,
Okay, that
as your
is it.
character,
Then cool.
you can believe whatever you want to believe.
Do we? Thank you. Do we want to?
Oh, no.
I think Zyxx wants to go fight or find.
We
that
gotta,
dragon.
yeah, we gotta go find the dragon, but we gotta talk about this bug first. Like, I feel like everybody's just glossing over this bug that I squished that literally ate a giant hole in my boot, and it's probably pretty important somehow, but I don't know how, and we're not even talking about it.
And where did you get the bug at?
Zyxx threw it, and then it hit the wall, and then I saw it, and I was like, I'm protecting my buddy, and so I went and stomped on it, and as soon as I stomped on it, acid shot out everywhere and ate a hole in my leather boot.
I'm sure there's some strange bugs everywhere that's how it is.
You guys just don't. Nobody ever believes me.
I never said I
Okay.
didn't believe you. I just said
Saw it happen. Why would I not believe you?
I think the bug is significant. I think I probably pissed some people off, man.
Well, then you'd better keep your head down.
The bug
We're a
is.
team.
I feel like wherever we went, to the underground, to the terrible place, they're trying to get here, and I think that bug was to help them, but I don't want to help them. So I think it's good that we got rid of it, and I'm sorry about your shoe, but
You owe me a shoe.
We'll fix it. I'll put it right.
All right, fine. Let's go find the wyvern.
If I notice that the wall didn't move, and it's morning now, I'm gonna go down and join the group.
So make a perception check as it's now morning time, and you stop looking down at the wall and you turn around, start looking around for 15.
Yes, sir.
Oddly, because it was nighttime, it was hard to see these things, but you look around the fort, outside the fort, near the walls, inside some places, there are bits of grass and dirt that look like they've been charred.
Do I notice that the closer these grasses to the wall, the more charred they look, or at least maybe...
They seem random.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to take a note on that. Maybe, is there a guard on top of the wall with me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm going to get close, like extremely close, like maybe 1 feet away. And I'm going to tilt my head to the side. Hello, good morning. There is some dead grass. Did you notice that?
He looks around and looks at you and says, yes?
Was there a fire in these last 3 days?
I'm gonna see if this guy knows. He turns to you and he says, yeah, our initial report was that some sort of elemental issue had occurred, originated from the wall, but then dissipated.
Did you kill it?
Me, no. I just got here.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm just gonna walk
kind of
away.
Waves slowly and confused and then lets you walk away, yeah.
Go downstairs and just open the door.
Yep, they're in mid-argument. Everyone's just kind of like yelling at each other. You hear the word worm once in a while being yelled over people.
I'm digging through the scraps for eggs and ale. Whatever food is left, I'm going to try and scrap some together.
Yeah, while the whole argument's going on, I finish my food and I get up and make my way over to my bed and kind of just meditate a little bit while I switch around some spells that I have prepared.
I'm gonna stare at Gabriel as he does that, and I'm gonna sit straight opposite to him on the ground. I'm gonna stare at him as he meditates, and I'm gonna tilt my head. And then what you see is that he fumbles with something in his pocket, and he takes it out, and he takes out this sphere that maybe is the size of his palm, and then he extends his palm, and the sphere turns on these, like, it's a metallic contraption that has, it's the thing on the image pretty much, has a cyan eye that turns on and then starts levitating and turning, and it aims towards you, Gabriel, and it shoots a little beam that stops like maybe a feet away from it, and then that beam, like some sort of rain out of cyan energy, starts pouring down, and then it's all runes, and he starts reading those runes and tilting his head to the side, much like what you're doing. He's doing on his own way.
Does it make noise?
Nope, just
Okay.
visual representation, and he lifts his fingers and then maybe move a rune around or change
There's
his.
probably like a very faint hum in order
Okay.
to like actually get this thing
So
to like
nothing was
hover.
gonna
There's
break me out
probably
of- yeah.
no, nothing that would be like loud or noisy, but just like the sound like your PC makes, right? When it's running, like there's just like this ambient sort of hum.
Sounds good. I'm just sitting there with my eyes closed and taking deep breaths and.
Oh, and
Yeah,
by
same
the
thing.
way, like you people say, the wall did not move.
You people. What do you mean, you people?
I have heard some of you use the expression, and I now understand how it works.
Well, let's talk about naming you. Did you decide if you wanted to be called Scathe?
I believe you are mocking me.
No, I'm your friend. We need a name for you. It's
Yes.
gonna get real weird out on the trails in the woods if we just keep having to point at you.
Yes, I agree. But I am still unsure. It seems that names are very important for you, so I am not sure I am capable of making that decision yet. Or maybe ever.
Why don't you let us make it for you?
It's not going to be Johnny number 5.
I said Scathe. Scathe is cool.
You guys
Can I
hear
tr-
you guys hear
sorry.
a knock at the door.
Come in.
Who is it?
I just keep sipping and eating. I don't live here.
Okay, nobody answers
Yeah,
it.
I'll walk over and open the door. Yeah,
Okay.
room service. What?
All right. You open the door and you look up and you see a very surprised guard who looks down. Sorry, you've been summoned to the Admiral's chamber. Shannara wishes to speak with you.
Like just
When?
me or like all of us?
All of your party.
All right, guys, let's go. All right, wash your faces. We're gonna look good.
And we do the bowl like the Vikings used to do, where you wash your face and then you spit in it, and you pass it. So I pass it to Scathe.
So you spit in a bowl and then hand it to the Warforged?
You wash your face off, everything, and then you wash your mouth out and you spit into it. Yeah, I spit into it and hand it to the Warforged.
He's
Clean
completely
yourself.
ignoring you.
Clean yourself.
He just ignores you and continues breathing the projection.
Clean yourself.
My favorite thing is like the Warforged knows nothing about the world, but the first thing he's learning is how to hate someone.
I just take a napkin. And
What is this feeling that I feel towards this person? It's horrible.
Kill.
I just clean him off a little bit, you know, like he's my kid. I'm just shining him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I just make sure I can see my reflection in his metal.
The guard leaves the doorway, leaves the door open. Outside, you guys can all hear kind of like in the distance. You hear a loud sound of crackling and some source of energy. You just in the distance, you just hear this like
Set down my fork and stand up, looking like crap, basically. Well, I suppose that means now. And I start walking towards the door.
I'll follow
Yeah,
him.
follows it. I grab the sphere and put it back on my pouch. and follow Marstone closely.
Alrighty. Is everybody leaving?
I'm finishing up my meditation.
All right, so everybody heads out. Gabriel stays behind. Everyone, as you enter out into the square, everybody that's out here, make a perception check.
21, I'm golden tonight.
13. 12.
Okay. So, Marstone and Darrow, you guys head out, and the first thing you notice is there is a large ring of blue light to the south of the keep. You can see it over the walls. And you see as it looks like the airship has engaged its engines, and there's a large elemental ring, a half ring, that is activated between two giant poles on either side of the airship. And you can see there is now a line of soldiers who are just outside of it and look like they're getting on. Also, inside the square, it looks like things are getting back to normal. With everybody changing last night and possibly the day before, there was a lot more commotion. Now it seems more like business as usual. And a lot of the guards' faces are different now. Now, with a 21... That's a pretty good roll. 21. You get outside and you squint towards the wall of mist. And you swear that you see the color green puff out in almost like a droplet of green-colored liquid into a glass of water. How it like plumes as it enters the liquid. It sort of puffs out behind the wall and then dissipates again into its normal gray color.
Okay. Yeah, I just keep blowing.
Okay, so you four are headed to the tower?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys all enter in. And you see a guard speaking with Chinara. Let me swap this out. Yes, so just be prepared if that is what needs to be done. Ah! Good morning. You're dismissed. The guard steps out as you four enter in. It delights me that some of you are still here in the keep. Has the young keeper of the flame already returned home?
No, he's merely meditating.
I see. Well then. Joel managed to get some rest?
Some, and I shoot a sharp glance over at Zyxx and Darrow.
Sorry.
The wall did not move last night.
No, it did not.
Was in the same position as this morning, which is strange.
It also strikes you as strange. She immediately agrees with you, as if she already knew. Well then. Let me pull out some chairs. Perhaps we'll talk about the day's work. She starts to go pull some stools out from the workshop and sets them down. You can obviously hear some rumbling and some tools being used in the back behind the giant device. Chinara sits down and says, So what are your plans?
Well, I believe we've all come to the agreement that we'll be volunteering to hunt down the wyvern for you.
I see. That's quite the mission. How do you plan to do such a thing? And what do you hope to accomplish by doing that?
Truthfully, I hadn't thought that far ahead. But the destruction of the wyvern could mean putting a halt to the advancement of the wall. Who knows?
If we can understand the wyvern, I think we can understand the mist. They're both creatures of the mist. They're both monsters.
I see. Well, I suppose I would feel a bit of guilt if I didn't display for you all of the options that you had. But I would like you to know that if you do wish to leave, I can assure your free passage if you wish to get on the airship, but it's headed to Rote. Otherwise, like we discussed yesterday, Marstone, you're obviously free to go. And I expect nothing else of you, as this keep is my responsibility, and I get paid quite well to make sure that it stays that way. However, that being the case, if you wish to be of service, I could hire you on a temporary basis to assist.
I'll
I would
kind
be
of
willing.
grab all my friends or my group here, be like, huddle up. And
Right,
it's
huddle.
comically funny because I'm so short that they have to like bow down really low. Like, since we don't really know where this guy is, and I have a feeling the dragon's gonna be hunting our Warforged friend here, maybe this is a good thing we could do. We could get some money, explore a little bit, and somebody who's got a better charisma needs to talk to her about that big machine behind us too, because I'm just curious about that.
Just ask.
So are we not hunting the wyvern?
I think
Because
we
it was
are.
hunting
No,
me?
I think we are. It's just
We're just gonna get paid for it, you
the
know.
wyvern's gonna come to us. I think. I hope. I'm a hunter kind of ranger, so I know these things, but I don't really. Let's be honest.
And I trust Zyxx with my life. He's
You
never
mentioned-
steered me wrong.
He's
You
still
mentioned
alive.
options, Chinara.
Wait, are
Yes.
we talking to her now?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yes?
What do you have?
I simply meant if your desire was to leave and you needed free transport, I could get you onto the ship.
Ah, I see.
Or you're
Well-
simply free to leave, but
I have no desire to go to Rote. As you know, things between Berland and Karnath are not exactly calm at the moment.
and you consider your current location calm?
Not at all. But I'd prefer this to that.
It is simply an option.
All I'm saying, Chinara, is we'll stay. You can hire us on a temporary basis. We'll take care of things for you. Whatever you need. The wyvern, something else. But
And I look over while Marstone's talking to her, and I'm like, Charlana, how much money are we talking about here?
He
Is
sighs like that when he gets really frustrated with us. It's pretty.
well, can you blame him? Marstone is
they have no
indeed a
tact.
trained soldier from a national army. And if I didn't know any better, you two seem to have come up off of a circus. So I can imagine his frustration. I can pay you each from the stipend of what we get paid, spread out over all of the soldiers that work here. I can pay you each 5 gold a day.
7 and you got a deal.
How about no?
You can just leave then.
You're free to.
Crap.
Already offered
Sorry,
our
guys.
services.
Sorry, guys, I tried.
I was going to ask next for you, Zyxx. What is this machine?
This machine is a bit of a collaborative project between me and Jam. Jam would probably be better to explain it, but he won't. So I will try to.
I had a feeling.
It is a device that helps us track how close the mist is and the intensity of the power of the mist in a way. It's hard for me to explain, but this is what has been explained to me by Jam. And right now Jam is working on another project that might further and advance in the opposite direction, but we're not sure. It's just another one of Jam's experiments, but this is what we get paid to do here.
Could this machine, you say it tracks the intensity of the mist?
Indeed.
Zyxx may be onto something. The wyvern. What did you call it before? The stalker?
Yes, it holds many names within the camp, but
Could we use the machine to track its location? They may have a similar magical aura or energy or something.
it's possible, but we would have to stop tracking the mist itself to change the target.
We have an
Which would leave us.
object that tracks the mist right here. And I point at Scathe.
I am not sure of what he means by that, but you can stare at the wall. I assume that you are not that stupid. So
Can't you track the mist?
I use my eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, you can stay awake for extended periods of time.
Yes, I do not need to sleep like you do.
Can you track the wyvern?
No.
It's worth a shot.
Also, have you ever encountered, and I'm looking at Shannara now, any green stuff inside the wall? Have you ever seen a green reaction on the other side? Because I did see one this morning.
When?
Before we got inside this room.
She immediately gets up and goes behind the giant contraption to talk to Jam, presumably. Leaves you all alone for a moment.
What did you see?
I am unsure, but there was a change on the coloration of the smoke on the other side of the wall.
It
Just
was
for a brief moment.
green.
Yes, it was green.
I pull out a notebook and I take a few notes. Was it accompanied by any other changes in the mist?
Not
Any new-
that I could notice.
Interesting.
Right. Well, thank you for that information. This is not going to be easy to ask, but if something were to happen again in the next day or two, would you be able to stand on the wall with my men? Or would you be inclined to simply run away? And I need an honest answer.
Can I whisper to the group and be like, we should see if we can get more money out of them? And tell them we'll stand with them, but we would need more money to do it. What do you guys think?
I mean, as far as a druid, you're really tied to these material possessions. you got. I mean, step one, you got to free yourself. You got a stick. You're happy. Like,
My honest answer is that I would stand with you. But if any of these creatures are flying, I'm afraid I would be of little use.
Everybody,
I will not go back to the other side. So if that would mean standing with you, and then that would get me to the other side, again, I will not stand with you.
so I need everybody to make a perception check.
21.
20.
16.
16.
Those are all really good. Who got more than 20? Marstone and Darrow. Oh, yeah, Marstone and Darrow. You two hear a funny little beeping noise coming from the large device on the other side of it. I'm not sure if you can actually hear this in the stream or not, but sounds like that.
Oh, yeah,
You guys can hear that on stream?
It's super faint.
Okay. It's supposed to be. You guys hear that noise coming from the other side.
I'm going to stand up and walk over there.
I'm gonna go with him.
Chinara is, let's see, hold on, wait. Okay, yeah. Chinara allows Marstone back and then puts an arm out in front of you, Darrow, and says, please don't bother Jam right now. He's very busy.
Why does Marstone get to go, but I can't go?
Because
Charlie,
I trust Marstone.
Come on. It's
Is that
me.
the truth you were looking for?
It's me. It's Darrow.
She looks at you like with the intensity of the wall itself. And then Marstone, you head back there and Jam, immediately you see him, he's inside the back of this machine and he sees you and he immediately just drops all of his tools on the ground and then looks over to you and like freezes.
I'll pick up whichever tool is nearest to me and I'll hand it back to him.
His ears kind of flutter a little bit as you do that, and he puts out his enormous white hand and he takes the tool back and nods at you, and then he puts his arms back into this cavity in the back of the machine, and you see that he is tinkering with what appears to be actually you wouldn't probably know this because of your note taking. He's tinkering with some sort of dragon shard that's fixed into a little device, maybe about the size of like a trophy.
Okay.
And he's currently tying wires together and soldering stuff and using some sort of magical ability with his other hand. At the same time, he's working on this dragon shard type device.
Where does it seem like the beeping is coming from?
The beeping sounds like it's coming from not where he's working on, but from a little meter that is above him on the large egg device.
Okay.
and you can see that there's this little pin, and it's freaking out.
What is that?
And he turns to you, and then looks up to where you're pointing. And he drops his tools again. And then he goes around the device on the other side. And everybody in the front sees Jam just like storming through the all of the devices and all of the furniture strewn everywhere, and all these tools are getting flying everywhere. It's literally a hippopotamus stomping around in this laboratory, and he pushes all the stuff away. He takes a table and pushes it away and comes up to Chinara, who's sort of taken by surprise, and shoots Chinara a glance. And the air in the room kind of like gets sucked out as there's just this silence. And Chinara turns back to you all and just says, "Get to the wall. Now." And you see she draws her rifle and runs to the double doors. What do you all do?
Did I see this? Or am I still, like, am I...
No, yeah, you everybody sees it.
Okay.
Except for Gabriel.
I want to look at Marstone and be like, did you hear the beeping too?
Yes.
What do you think it was?
It's this gauge. I don't know what it's for, but it's apparently very concerning. We should go.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Are there any guns laying around still?
You look around quickly, and you notice that although it's a bit of a mess, there is significantly less things about. Make a perception check really quick.
Okay. And also, did I 21? Did I hear Marstone talking about the guns like all the times we were in here in this room? I was here, right? Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For 21, you look around and you see there is significantly less stuff around than there was 3 days ago. It almost looks like a lot of it's been packed up.
Okay. Do I get a glance at any gun, like small one, not a rifle?
You don't see any
Okay.
guns or weapons like the ones that you're talking about, no.
Fair enough. I follow through with Marstone close to him.
Okay. You guys head out the doors?
Yeah, I run out the door.
All right. Darrow?
Oh yeah, I'm with him.
All right. You guys all head back out. You guys are kind of in the center now. Gabriel's still in the...
I DM'd you a while ago. I just didn't want to. I would have said.
I need another monitor to be able to see all that stuff.
In that case, I would already be up on the wall.
Okay. You guys all exit the double doors of the main tower, and you see Gabriel running along the wall with some of the soldiers. And as you exit out into the square and look up towards the wall, I'm not sure if you guys will hear that. The stream will hear this. I'm not sure if you guys will hear this, but a sound creaks from the wall itself. As everybody sees the mist start to swirl and blend in, green, yellowish colors start storming, as if a storm is brewing inside the wall. And you all are taken aback onto your heels as you see emerging from the wall of mist appears to be a face of some sort, towering about 50, 60 feet high. As there's a moaning and creaking, as if two large ships are grinding each other in the water. It is as if the wall of mist is moaning itself. And out of the mouth, it gapes and grows larger and larger and larger, and the storm sparks two bolts of lightning in the middle, and a large gaseous green cloud emerges from where the mouth is. And then the face just starts slowly contorting and moving in the face of the wall, making these grotesque, horrifying faces with its cloud-like brows and nose begins to sink in like a skeleton. The mouth grows wider and swirls in places, causing you to be before a haunting nightmare of a wall as you hear an alarm start to go off in the background. This and you see soldiers just like running all over the place. Shannara yells one last thing. Fire at will! And then begins to mount her rifle onto the well in the center of the fort. And we are gonna go to initiative here.
$13.
14.
20.
Nice.
8.
14.
Okay, bear with me 1 sec while I get all of the numbers inputted. 2. Okay. So. We gotta... Oof. Okay. Shannara mounts it, looks down the rifle, and then yells out to the soldiers amassing on the walls. And just says, "It's not fire this time, but don't breathe it in!" The soldiers all start to pull out crossbows, different kinds of bows, some of them outfitted with more technology than you're used to seeing, than like a medieval standpoint. And then some of them have more normal looking weapons. And they are all going to fire a rain of arrows towards whatever this substance floating through the air is. Everybody just sees all at once, just like this, just tons of arrows flying through the air. This mass of green storm cloud starts swimming through the air, almost like I hate to make the comparison, but kind of serpent-like. And it makes its way to the wall. As you all see that this giant green misty gas cloud reaches the wall and hits just near where the battlements start at the top of the wall, and it bursts like a bubble, and this gas just flies up into the air like a wave hitting the fort itself. The 3 soldiers on the wall directly in front of it start screaming. And you guys can't see anything other than that. They start screaming. You just hear screams, and this tidal wave of gaseous mist just slams and hits as you hear the moaning and the alarm going off in the background still as chaos is just erupting. Now, it is your turn, everyone.
Do we see a target? Like, is there an entity, or there's just gas?
From where you are right now, you just see this humongous face in the wall of mist.
Okay. I'm gonna then stand the ground a little bit and then move my hands, and then all the plating on my armor is gonna turn a bluish substance, and then extend a little bit off of my armor, and I'm gonna cast Enhanced Protection on myself. And I'm gonna stand my ground and follow Marstone wherever he goes.
I also forgot, Gabriel, you're on the wall.
Yeah.
These 3 soldiers fall to the ground.
Oof.
Oop, not that one.
Going to look around for some kind of a ranged weapon that I can commandeer.
You remember in the barracks there was tons of extra standard martial weapons lying around.
That's where I'm gonna go then. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and grab a couple quivers of arrows and maybe a longbow.
Yep, that'll take your turn, but you run in there and you see like 2 soldiers that were resting are like getting out of their bunks quickly, and they're starting to put on gear and also get stuff. One of them even looks up and is like, Connath army.
Don't get your hopes up. It's just me.
What's going on out there?
Nothing good. Get yourselves geared. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And they start getting geared up. Anybody else that needs to take their turn?
I was gonna take my last.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry. And who else around me?
I assume me. So
Yeah, just 6, because I'm a robot, and Marstone ran away, and Gabriel is on the battlements.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Kugo, can I cast Goodberry and give everybody that's close to me a Goodberry? Is that okay, or?
How does your Goodberry describe what it looks like when you cast Goodberry?
So I kind of open my hand, and there's like a little swirl, and up to 10 berries appear in my hand. They're infused with magic, and a creature can use an action to eat 1 berry, and it restores 1 hit point.
Sure. So you're in like, there's alarms going off, you're in an active like war zone, and you wave some magic, some berries appear in your hand. Is that your
Okay.
action or bonus action?
That's my action.
Okay. And then what do you want to do?
And I want to give whoever is around me in our party, I want to give them 1 each.
So it's up to you guys whether you even notice that or not. Everybody's like in a panicked state. They might not have even noticed you with your berries in your hand.
Because it's food, and I don't eat.
Yeah, but it can give you a hit point, robot.
He doesn't know that.
You also don't have time to explain that right now. What do you do?
I toss 1 to Zyxx, and then that's it, really.
I pocketed.
Cool. Was that my bonus action? Giving them the berries?
Probably. Yeah, if you're going to toss the berry to him. Yep.
Okay. Then I'm done.
All right. Who else needs to go?
Yeah, I will cast Magic Stone on my special package of rocks, and I want to climb up to the wall. Can I get there with my movement, or do I need to dash?
You could dash. A dash would get you to like here.
That sounds great. So I'll dash
Cool.
up there, and then
Yeah.
I will look it in the eye and try to analyze what's going on. But that's my turn, basically.
Okay. Once you get to the wall, you notice immediately that there is this pulsing, serpent-shaped cloud of green gas that just rammed into the wall and then sprayed everywhere. The spray is kind of dissipating in the air, but the form of the thing, of this, I hate to say that it looks like a worm-like creature, but it's like this thick, serpenty, worm-shaped green gas. And it starts to now round up over the wall on top of it.
Okay, so Gabriel's gonna hold out his hand towards the gas and just mutter, "Silver Flame, burn my enemies to ash." And I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay.
Oh, that's good. 22
Yes, absolutely.
for 15 points of radiant damage.
15 points of radiant damage. Fantastic. As if someone just took like a photo with flash on, you see this like flash of light from the wall on your left as a beam just, I mean, go ahead and describe what it looks like from Gabriel.
It's like a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Like, hold out. Or, no, we'll say it's more of a special beam cannon.
There you go.
Where
And it shoots.
I point,
This,
it just shoots and then spirals all
Yep.
the way to it.
there's like this boom, as the spiral of energy goes straight through the gaseous form as it sort of bursts in place and almost seems to like fillet or split itself into a smaller, thinner worm of smoke. The beam of light continues through and hits the mouth of the face in the wall directly behind, and the face visibly looks surprised. The eyes get bigger and the brows raise high in the wall full of smoke as the mouth and face fade backwards, disappearing into the wall.
Nice.
Who else needs to go?
That's it.
I think that's it.
Okay. Shannara readies her rifle and fires. Okay. Who's right there in the square?
I am.
All right. There is a very, very loud explosion of energy from the well as it pools up. It almost sucks in the air and the energy around it, just sort of like as it fires out and away towards this green gaseous creature that is now scaled up over the wall, looking a little bit thinner. And it splits. Two smaller gaseous forms now. As the rifle shot of this elemental energy soars through into the wall as well, and it splits this entity into two gaseous forms. Also at this point, I'm gonna see. Okay. One of these guards starts running, Zyxx, right past you.
Okay.
Just screaming. Just like, ah! Also at this point, who else is in the square? So we got Darrow, the Warforged. At this point, Marstone, you kind of come out with the weapon, and you come out with another guard as well. And everyone sees Jam erupt from the double doors of the tower, holding a small device in front of his chest with a blue colored shard attached into it. And as he runs out into the square, Chinara kind of clocks him on the right and sees him and starts to pull the rifle back as he runs towards her with this device. But that is going to be the end of the turn. It is now going to be, all of the soldiers. At this point, it's just chaos. Some soldiers run in. Gabriel, one of these soldiers runs past you, yelling and screaming. In fact, he stops just after you and turns around and kind of hides behind you. This one stays steady and fires. As an arrow does seem to find purchase in something inside one of these gaseous forms and then falls out after finding purchase. Same thing with this guy. Another arrow. And then the gas splits. One in this direction. Let's see. Zyxx and Marstone, roll d20s.
Ooh, boy.
Stick.
One.
This other one, Marstone, you come outside with your crossbow and you look up as a gaseous cloud rounds up over the wall and comes down towards you.
Oh, no.
As it gets closer to you, the gaseous cloud, as it comes closer, you notice that not only is this green gas, but it has the same sort of misty aura that the wyvern did.
Oh.
And as you look up at it coming down at you, you see faces kind of appear in the gas as it comes towards you, as if surprised, hungry, and angry at the same time. The mouth getting larger than what is actually possible as it roars towards you and then bursts. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
You got it. That's a 5.
Okay. Can only get far enough to just get you. All right. You take 18 poison damage.
Okay.
As you start coughing violently, as the residue from this gas cloud comes into your area. Same thing's gonna happen on the tower. Yep. Not a chance. Yep, another soldier goes. There's a burst of green mist over here, Gabriel, as you see another soldier just hold his neck and then fall to his knees. It is now you guys. Your turn.
Do I see Marstone getting absolutely ambushed by this thing
Yes.
and then coughing
Yep.
destroyed? Okay.
And in fact, it's continuing to come towards Marstone.
Yeah. I'm gonna run towards Marstone, and as I'm running, I'm gonna start moving my fingers, and they're gonna detach again from my hand, and then electricity is gonna start running between my fingers, like a shock, like from the defibrillator, and I'm gonna kneel next to him, and I'm gonna shock him. And I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat on Marstone. So as a bonus action, you are now gonna be able to dash. Oh, this is self. I can't do that. Never mind. God damn it. So I'm gonna run in and I'm gonna grab him and I'm gonna try to like pull him away. And I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat on myself. And I'm gonna.
Is that a bonus action?
It is a bonus action to cast it, yes.
Okay.
And then it allows me on that same turn. When you cast a spell, as a bonus action, each turn I can take the dash action. So I'm gonna use that dash action to try to pull him away even further.
Okay. So, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Yes, sir. 19.
Yeah. Woo. So I will say you were able to pull him half your movement. So is your movement 30?
It is.
You can probably pull him 15 feet. So let's see. Yeah, you could pull him like back to where Chinara and Jam are.
Awesome. That's it.
As he's still like choking. You still got your weapon in your hands, but you are violently choking, Marstone, as you get pulled away. Who else needs to go?
I'm gonna shout out, "Hold your breath," because poison fart floating around. Is this a large creature in game terms?
Not anymore.
Okay. I'm going to cast as a bonus action. Ensnaring Strike. And then I'm gonna throw a rock at it, a magic rock, making a ranged attack at the one closest.
Okay.
That's a 16 to hit.
Sure does.
And it'll be 8 plus 3, so 11 damage.
11 damage.
Nice.
All right. It definitely, it bounces off of this gas somehow.
Well, so the Ensnaring Strike, that also kicks in when I hit it. So a writhing mass of thorny vines appear at the point of impact. So I imagine I throw this stone, and then it's just like a little vine explosion on the inside of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like it grows using the gas as fuel, and it just erupts from outside of it. And then what does it do to it?
The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the vines. And the DC is 13.
Ooh! It is not immune to restrained. Wow, okay.
I mean, they're really cool vines.
Oh, cool. All right. What's the DC?
13.
13.
Baller, man.
What type of save?
Strength save.
It fails. And the vines start to reach out and almost seem to eat and thrive on the gas as they start to grow around this gaseous form, cocooning it. You see spurts of gas like being pushed out from small little openings in the vines. It's struggling, but it's not going anywhere.
Awesome. That's my turn.
Quick thing, because I remember what we talked about, but I can't remember what we came up with. Can I cast a spell and a cantrip?
If you cast... Well, what are the two spells you're thinking of? We'll kind of make it in the moment here.
Healing Word and Sacred Flame.
That's going to be too much, I think.
Okay, then that's fine.
If it's like a flavor spell, then I would probably allow it. But if it's too, like, if it requires your full dedication, then
Well,
probably
so
won't.
Healing Word is a bonus action. And then if you cast a spell with your bonus action, you're allowed to cast a cantrip as your action.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is the
not
second?
to-
Is your
sorry,
action
I'm
a cantrip?
boring, but
Is your action a cantrip?
Yes.
Oh, then yeah.
Okay, well then I'll do that. It's either I was gonna shoot an arrow or do a cantrip. Which
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
cantrip does less damage anyway. but
It's only if the cantrip is the action, correct?
right.
It's, You can't like cast a cantrip bonus action spell and then use a first level spell.
Maybe that's
Correct.
where.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. Cool.
All right, so I guess I'll do my action first, and I'll cast Sacred Flame on the one that's not restrained. The one that hit the first time. Needs to make a Dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty.
It's got to be a 12.
You got a natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I say a little incantation, grip my hand, and nothing happens. How about that? So it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But then I shake it off and I look down at Marstone and I'm going to cast Healing Word on him. That's my bonus action.
Okay. The range on that's pretty good?
60 feet.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, you're fine.
Heal up to 7.
All right. Who else needs to go? Or is that everybody in the party?
I need to go.
All right.
Okay. Marstone, are you allowed to tell me your AC?
Probably not.
Okay. I just didn't know how technical we could get. So
Yeah.
what I want to do is I want to run over to Marstone and slide like right up next to him, and I'm panting, out of breath, in a hurry. And I want to cast Bark Skin on him. He has to be willing though. So, Marstone, can I cast something on you? Do you trust me? It's good enough for me. So I cast Bark Skin on him, and his AC now can't be less than 16. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. And then that's my action, and then as a bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and shift into my long tooth form,
Awesome.
and that will be it for me.
Long tooth form. Cool. Marstone.
I am going to receive both of these spells after being dragged on the ground behind a warforged. Barely get my bearings, but I'm going to stand up, cease my coughing, get a little more distance from these gaseous creatures. Just use my movement to kind of come a little further back to a point where I can still shoot at them so that there are no buildings like obstructing my view. So maybe kind of by the front gate, so I'm shooting over the well. And then I'm going to draw an arrow from the quiver on my left hip and try and shoot this entangled mass.
You got it.
You have advantage because it's restrained.
You sure do.
Nice. Alrighty, so here we go. First one's a 14. Second one's a 9, so 14.
Let's see. Oh, I can't believe I took it away. Bad DM. Should open a new tab instead of changing the thing. Come on.
It's okay. It's not like everybody's watching.
All right. 14 total?
Yeah. Yep.
Just misses
Oh.
as it hits the roots.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I will kind of curse under my breath and ready another arrow. Just kind of like reach down and grab one and get it ready. That's
Sure.
it.
Is that everybody on the player side?
Yes.
What's everybody's passive perception?
12.
13.
12.
15 passive.
Ooh.
Mine is, sorry, I was on the wrong page. 12.
Zyxx. You hear Actually, you know what? You're on the wall. Never mind. You're too far away. My bad. So, at this point, what you guys hear is Chanara and Jam are now next to each other. And everybody hears Chanara yell at Jam. What do you mean it has to go inside? Some of the soldiers move along the wall. They notice one's restrained, so they fire at it. With advantage. Hits. You see one of the proud guards still standing strong up on the wall, fire down at the one in the vines, manages to sink an arrow into your cocoon, and the arrow glows blue briefly, staying in the creature. Same with these two guards. As well as these two guards in the back. They're all, like, they all see what Zyxx did, and they're just all gonna take advantage of this. Oh, yeah. There's just like a rain of arrows over the well, just... Until you see your vines, Zyxx, start to squeeze on this creature, and it presses the gas out into the finest molecules as it dissipates into the air, and the cocoon just wrings out like a towel. And then the vines like rewind, grow back into the ground underneath, and the gas dissipates and is gone. And then you hear one of the guards like yell, it's like, "Yeah, we can kill him! Let's go!" And everyone seems to be a little bit higher spirits now. Until, as you hear that, the guard kind of, a couple of them are like, "Yeah, yeah! What's that?" And they slowly start to turn and look at the wall. As everyone sort of hears this. As the face returns, molding out of the edge of the mist. Gabriel, Marstone, and Zyxx. Roll d20s. I want to see where this cloud is going to go.
6.
14.
7.
Okay. It swims over the barracks. Heads towards you. Gabriel? Swirling in this green mist, you see a face emerge at the front of it, and it looks like a child screaming. And then there's a as green gas comes out of this thing. I need you to make a save. It's gonna be a Constitution saving throw.
20. Dirty.
Nice. So you're gonna take half damage from this. Half of 21 is gonna be 10. 10 poison damage.
Good thing I... It's very good that I succeeded that.
And... two other things happen. It's exactly what it looks like. And everyone that's inside the square sees Jam holding out this shard installed device out. Shannara stows her weapon and takes it. It is now back to the player's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna extend both my hands. Fingers are gonna detach from the palms and start hovering around faster and faster and faster. And energy is gonna start gathering on the palms. I'm gonna shoot an energy blast, a thunder energy blast, against the creature next to Gabriel.
Alrighty. Gabriel's currently got an arm over his mouth, trying not to cough.
It's a 16.
16 to hit, indeed hits.
And it's gonna take 9 points of thunder damage.
Nice. What does it look like?
This crackling arc of energy from both my hands goes and joins together before piercing this gas creature.
All right. The electricity courses through. And it sort of writhes, not unlike the worm that you crushed earlier, in place. Doesn't fully dissipate, but looks very agitated.
Question. Is Shannara in the well still, fidgeting with the gun?
Yeah, let me see if I have a piece.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stand with my movement right in front of her, like shielding them, both Jam and Shannara, both my hands up. My hands protection is up, so I'm very like colorful and noticeable.
All right. You
like
got
in between the enemies and them.
You got it. Who else needs to go?
I will fire another arrow, or loose another arrow rather, at the same target that our Warforged attacked.
Okay.
$19.
19 does hit.
Alrighty. The damage of 6.
Okay. It hits this creature. It doesn't go through it. It pierces briefly and then falls. You would know that if this was a normal fleshy creature, it would probably pierce, stay in, do some damage. It doesn't look like it's doing the same amount of damage to this thing.
I am going to go by Shannara and Jam, and I will end my turn there.
Okay. You see Shannara just staring at this device, and Jam just folding his arms.
What is the sky ship doing? The airship? Is it still here?
Ooh, make a perception check for me for free.
And that's a 17.
17. It, at this point, it's starting to lift off the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it full of soldiers? Can I see that? Like,
It's
or
too far
is
away
the
to
pilot
tell
scared and leaving?
how
Okay.
many or what's on it, but you just see it like kind of break the top of the wall, rise up, and it's starting to hover and then turn a little bit. Very slowly.
I'll shout down and be like, Shannara! Oh, I forgot my voice. Okay, Shannara, your ride's leaving.
She's in a trance, just staring at this device that she's been handed.
Okay, and then I'll get into 60 feet range of the big guy there. The big glowy face guy, and I'll throw another stone, I guess.
All right, so you're gonna move closer to it, to like the corner?
Yeah, I'll move to the corner.
All right. Okay, Zyxx runs along.
Oh, that's really bad. That's an 11.
Okay, I mean, you throw it, and it lands somewhere on the face like a freckle and disappears.
I don't think this is gonna work. And then that's my turn. Actually, I will bonus action. Can I dash as a bonus action? Sorry.
Not unless rogues can do that.
No, I can. Oh, I can disengage or hide. Could I hide behind one of the, like the side of the wall or something?
You could hide. There's like a small steps that lead down from the tower to here. You could probably hide on those steps.
I will do that.
Yeah, yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knew goblins could
Who else?
disengage, but I didn't know if it was.
All good.
How far is Gabriel from that green thing in front of him?
10 feet.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Moonbeam in between him, but it's a 5-foot radius. So if I cast it right in the center, he should be fine. And it doesn't do anything because the creature has to move into it. But I just want to try to protect him. So I'm gonna cast that, straight down between them. And then I am going to move near Shannara.
Can you cast spells when you're in shifted form?
I think so, yes.
Because when you're in beast form, you cannot.
Yeah.
Let me
No,
double
he
check.
can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just a heads up too, the Moonbeam is a concentration spell, so just keep that in mind.
Okay. Hold on, let me set something aside so I will remember that. And then I want to move near Shannara and then try to give her one of the berries as a bonus action.
You come over, and Jam is now turned and looking up at this wall, and Jam has like 0 expression. Like he doesn't look worried, he doesn't look scared. He just does nothing, no expression, just looking up at the wall. Shannara, however, does not even notice you there. She is staring at this device with wide eyes. She does not even notice you next to her.
Okay. That'll be the end of my turn.
All right, Gabriel?
Um,
A moonbeam comes down right in front of you. Same thing as the portal.
that makes this easier. I'm going to move back on the wall.
Okay. There's a guard just behind you. You just slide past him.
Where I can still reach the big. Oh yeah, I got plenty. So I'm going to do the same kind of movement, my special beam cannon, but I'm going to add another hand, clasping them together as I cast guiding bolt at a 2nd level towards it.
Ooh. Do you need to be able to see the target?
I'm sure I can see the giant face.
Oh, you're shooting at the big thing that just came out.
Oh yeah.
Roger.
All right, here we go. Does a 9 hit?
You fire off the beam cannon once more. And although it misses this next big giant gaseous cloud that gets erupted from the mouth, the beam misses the cloud, but still does manage to hit the face in the background, right in between the eyes and the forehead. And there's sort of like a hole, like a temporary trampoline effect as this brilliant, radiant light sends into the wall, bounces backwards as this.
I'm just gonna roll damage to see what I would have got.
All right, who else needs to go?
I believe we've all technically gone.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty.
But I'm going to.
Alrighty.
I'm going to notice Shannara staring at this thing and kind of inquire, "What is that?"
It can push it back. And she looks up at you, finally breaking her trance, and just stares you straight into the eyes, holding this thing. Now it is going to be all the soldiers. Got one soldier. This guy is the ballsy soldier, right on the front lines, right on that wall. He's gonna fire at the big one. And it just goes flying over it, unfortunately. This soldier was scared, he's running. This soldier's also scared, he's running back to you. Some of these guys reposition themselves and all start firing at the one that's directly above on the wall. Just take a 2, 3. Yeah, another just rain of arrows. You hear the guards just kind of like, there it is! Fire! A bunch of them just start raining down on this thing. Some of them finding purchase, some of them not. All right, as Chinara looks at you, Marstone, do you do anything or say anything?
Ow. What do you need to do with it?
Chinara turns with it and starts running.
Where are you going?
She's at the gate at this point.
I am going to take off after her.
All right, when it's your turn.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Did you use movement on your last turn?
Sort of. I was in the general vicinity, but yeah, I did use I used some movement.
Okay. So this creature, this gas on its last limb, getting smaller and smaller in form, is going to Gabriel and Franco. Roll d20s.
Four.
Natural 20.
Ooh, okay.
Natural 20.
This thing, this gaseous form,
Wait, that's good.
goes around the moonbeam.
Come on.
Is that smart?
As you think. Well, as you see it coming towards you, Gabriel, you see wisping off of its green gaseous form is indeed some mist-like substance that you noticed on the wyvern as well, which you remember was also very unhappy with radiant energy. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw as the smaller form of this thing bursts out into gas.
14.
14. Okay. So you're gonna take half. Same thing, 10. 10 poison damage. Everyone in the square sees this thing going after Gabriel, too. Just chasing him down the battlements.
No one's
The large one.
No one's even close to me, so I'm not even gonna explain what I look like.
The large one, because it cannot see Zyxx anymore, just heads straight for the wall to this guy. This guy has to make a save. Which fails.
Dude. Just
All according to plan.
giant gas just goes.
Zyxx, from around the corner, you just hear a, no, no, no!
Yeah, that could have been.
It is now player turn.
Question: if I am hidden, do I have advantage on my attack against this thing?
Sure do.
Then I'm gonna try my ensnaring strike again. I'll cast an ensnaring strike as a bonus action, and then I'll throw another stone at this guy.
Alrighty. The larger mass?
Yeah, the only one. Oh, there is another one over there. Yeah, but I can't reach that one, so we'll do the larger.
Correct.
Oh, 23.
Yes, sir.
And 8 plus 3, 11.
11 total damage.
Magical piercing.
How much is magical?
I think the whole thing.
Okay. Alrighty.
And then he needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 13.
Correct.
If he
Or
is
be
large,
restrained.
which he is, he has advantage on this saving.
Ah, okay. Yeah, he is large at this point. Yeah, 18.
Okay, so he breaks free of the things.
The vines come out again, but they die and wither inside of it.
Different reaction. That's weird.
I am going to start taking off after Chinara, and I'm even going to go so far as Chinara when I see the thing burst on Gabriel. And I'm going to change course to make as much headway up those stairs as I can to try and see what's going on with Gabriel.
Okay, so you stop chasing Chinara and go up to Gabriel.
Yes.
All right,
And I'm going to use Second Wind as a bonus action
you got it.
to regain 1d10 plus 3 HP.
You're able to make it up the stairs with 30 feet. You
Okay.
see there is a guard that's hiding up here. He's terrified.
Okay.
And then Gabriel just up a couple more steps to the top of the corner tower.
Gabriel has blood coming out of his ears, his nose, his eyes, his mouth. He looks dead, but he's still standing.
Gabriel! Run! Fall back!
That's it, Marstone?
Yeah, I don't think I'm at him yet, so I can't like grab him to do anything. But I will, I suppose, take my bow and I'll try and fire at the smaller creature again.
Yep, sure. Do it up.
10. Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately.
There's
Yeah,
the
it goes
key right
straight
there.
through.
How far is Gabriel from the thing again?
10 feet.
All right.
These things seem to get within a certain distance and then burst.
Okay. I'm gonna take Moonbeam and, as an action, move it in between them again.
Okay.
And then I don't have any other things I can do as a bonus action, so that's it for me.
Does that sweep across? Or
It,
is it just like
It teleports,
has
it
to
doesn't
move.
sweep.
yeah, it has to move into it. I can't put it on.
It's
it.
not like Flaming Sphere.
But you can push it into it, like if you do a knockback or something.
So the moonbeam erupts in front of you again, this familiar radiant light.
If you put it on top, though, on top of the creature, it's gonna start its turn inside the beam and take the damage.
I read about it and they said I can't make it do it. It has to be, it's like a path blockage.
When a creature enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. So if you move the thing on top of the creature, it's gonna inevitably start the turn inside.
They clarified it and
Okay,
said
fair
that,
enough.
Yeah, it was
Fair
the
enough.
actual.
Gotcha.
For our game, if you cast Moonbeam on it, it's going to take damage.
All right.
Because if you ask me, why would you not be able to cast a spell on an enemy?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make sense. So if you cast a Moonbeam, it can go down onto the creature.
All right.
Also, you know, Darrow, these things are gas, balls of gas. They can fly.
I am gonna use my movement and then my expeditious retreat bonus action dash to get behind the gas thingy. Like I'm gonna climb the wall on the
How
other
much
side of
movement do you
it.
get?
I get 60 feet of movement.
Okay.
I want to go on the other side though.
So these battlements,
There are no stairs on the other side?
the stairs go up where
Okay.
Marstone is. So
Okay.
you'd have to pass through the moonbeam.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. There's
Been
no
there,
way
done
for me. There's no way for me. There are no other stairs, right?
There's
Those and
two
the-
sets
Yeah.
on both sides of the entrance,
Awesome.
going
Okay.
left and right, yeah.
And then on the other walls there are no stairs?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna just put my hands up, my fingers are gonna detach and start swirling, and this time there's gonna be a droning noise, and it's gonna start getting higher and higher and higher, and then and I'm gonna send an energy blast, but this time it's gonna be sonic damage.
I'm not even familiar with what sonic damage is.
It's a 15 to hit.
15 just hits.
All right. Whew. It's gonna take 18 points of sonic damage.
Jeez.
It's sound, pretty much, like sound waves.
Yeah, I've never even heard of sonic damage in 5e.
I think it's
Rumble,
called. It's not
rumble.
called sonic. I think it's called thunder damage, and the previous
Okay.
one was lightning damage.
All right. How much? So 18 damage?
18.
Yeah, describe what happens to this smaller one. Describe what
These
happens to it.
waves, These waves of vibrating air, because sound is pretty much that. Start vibrating this creature until it disperses
Yeah,
in a puff of smoke.
yeah, exactly. So you guys know, like, the hot air that rises off of the desert and causes the air to look all wavy? There's just a beam of this microwaved energy that gets sent over towards this creature. And as it wraps around the moonbeam trying to get to Gabriel, it gets hit with it and just vibrates in place into these tiny little droplets of green, and they all fall and hit the wall and dissipate into the air.
All right, and with my movement and dash, since I didn't move, I am gonna run in front of Chanara. I should be maybe faster than her, 60 feet.
Let's see. You would have
Maybe
had to
just
have
double move.
moved there, so yeah, you can catch up to Chanara. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up to her and maybe
Yep.
running sideways to her, and
Yep.
I'm gonna say, why are you running? And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. It's now her turn. She turns to you and says, You came from inside. Can you take this back in?
I already told you I am not going back inside.
She takes off running. Let's see. Yeah, she makes it.
Oh,
As you guys all see the airship start to go up into the air. And at this point, it is turned around. It's beginning to leave. All the guards are gonna go.
I don't think did I go?
Did you go?
No.
Okay, go, Gabriel.
I'm going to.
You see Chanara as you see this creature dissipate and get destroyed in front of you. You take a breath and you see Chanara running outside the keep with the device.
I don't even care about Chanara. My fixation is on the big green gas.
Yep.
As I take
Yep.
2 steps to the right, still looking terrible. Absolutely.
Marstone
terrible.
right underneath you and a scared guard.
And I cast Guiding Bolt again at a 2nd level. As I mutter,
second level.
Silver Flame, Burn my enemies to ash. $13?
13, unfortunately, does not hit
Oh
this
my
creature.
How far is
I
he
think-
from me?
He is probably, let's see, 30 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction. Is that okay?
Please describe it.
Okay. So, Gabriel, as you see the guiding bolt start forming on your hands and then going forward on a straight beam towards this creature, you start seeing how the beam actually retracts back to your hands and shoot it again. And everybody else that's looking towards the Warforged, you see how he's extending his hands and the plates on his armor are actually separating from his body, and he emanates the same mist the creatures are emanating, the same mist the Wyvern emanated, and the same mist these green creatures have around them. For a brief second, you notice that, and it's not as much mist as the Wyvern, but it is the same exact thing. And then he finishes concentrating on this. And Gabriel, you get to attack again.
All right.
Whoa.
So push forward again. For a natural 20, baby.
And
Nice.
That's gonna crit, and that's gonna hurt a lot.
It's okay. So
Is that 10d6 damage?
10d6 damage.
10d6 at level 3.
I'm just gonna roll 10d6. I
Teamwork,
don't care
baby.
about the.
But isn't
My whole
your
screen.
your initial damage die just straight up max damage, right?
Well,
That's on melee. That's on weapons.
Oh, okay. I got you.
makes sense.
That's 29 points of radiant damage.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yep. As the face begins to form for a third time, opening its mouth, before it can launch out another mass of energy, you just hit it with this huge beam and it soars through the green gaseous cloud and back into the face, blasting a huge hole in it, sending it straight back in, as well as splitting the gas in two, ripping it in half.
I just fall down to one knee.
Okay. That's everybody for the player turn. Shannara took her turn. Jam stands. Actually, hold on. No. Jam starts walking back to the main tower, calmly. All of the guards are gonna fire. After seeing you blast it in two, they all begin to regain their confidence. And even this one, Marstone, next to you that was scared, sees Gabriel do this. His eyes go wide, and he readies himself and fires an arrow. Ooh, nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, okay, you inspired the shit out of all these soldiers. Pretty much all of them hit their arrows. Just all of them at the same time, just firing them off. And these things just get pelted with arrows. The arrows stick and prod into them and then fall out, not doing full damage, but they all hit. However, they do descend. And you did not re-hide, did you, Zyxx?
Zyxx is away.
Gone? Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
He
These
did
two
not re-hide,
things.
though.
Okay. These three guards are gonna have to make saves. Okay. The one to the left darts behind the barracks, covering his mouth. 2 of them start coughing and holding onto their necks and falling to the ground. These guys are dropping like flies, getting inspired and then dying for their cause right in front of you. Player turn again.
It's so brutal.
I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I'll do mine real quick. I just turned to Marstone and go, just give me a little bit. As I put my hand on my symbol, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Oh
The silver
my God.
flame heals up your wounds some.
Not for much.
Who else wants to go?
I'm gonna back up closer to the gate a little bit,
Sure.
and then move Moonbeam onto the green blob on the left.
Alrighty.
Set it on him.
You can move it how many feet?
60,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that takes an action to move it?
Yeah.
All right. What's the save?
Oh, well, it doesn't do it until your creature's next
For-
turn.
For this game, just go with it for now.
Okay.
Just do some damage for now.
Constitution saving throw.
Of what?
It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or
What's
half
your
as
save
much.
DC?
It doesn't say that.
It'll be on your spell.
Yeah, under your
Oh,
spell
I'm
modifier.
sorry. Yeah, I see it. It's 12. Sorry.
12? Okay, it does make it, so it's going to take half damage.
Okay.
2d10 halved.
Okay. So d10.
Like a skylight, it gets closed and the light ceases to exist and then opens above this creature. All right, so it's going to take 2 damage
Yeah.
as it wraps around the light, seemingly not liking it very much, being radiant damage. So, who else wants to go?
I am going to reach out a hand up to Gabriel as I kind of scale these battlements and say, "We must fall back." And Gabriel will respond when he gets back.
All right.
I am gonna put my hands together, my fingers are gonna detach again and start swirling around my palms, and I'm gonna gather energy this time. A spark of flame starts a flame in between my palms, and I'm gonna shoot it against the creature on the right as I cast Energy Blast at 2nd level this time.
Ooh.
It's a natural 20.
Oh! Which one, left or right?
To the one on the right.
Okay.
That's gonna be 8d8 of fire damage.
You guys are dominating these mist creatures.
That is 30 points.
Oh my god. Yeah, just
Holy crap.
so the fire just gets sent through the air. It immediately catches this thing as if it's made of gas. It just catches immediately and explodes in flame. The fire leaves an enormous black charred mark on the walls of the fort. Just spiraling out like a sun was hit there. And that creature is gone. Who else needs to go? Player turn.
Jordan said he had to go.
Yep.
Yep.
It's fine.
And then I am reaching a hand out to Gabriel and telling him we need to fall back. We need to retreat.
Gabriel reaches a hand up, kind of clasping as old English clasp,
Mm-hmm.
Wrist on wrist, and wipes the blood off of his nose and kind of clears his eyes out a little bit and pulls himself up. I agree.
And then I guess we'll use our movement to retreat.
To where?
Probably just the gate.
Okay.
If 8 guards are there,
You pass three guards.
get out when you can.
Make a persuasion check.
That's perception. Oops. Natural 20.
Wow! All 3 of them follow you.
I said when you can. You don't have to come now.
We can! We absolutely can! Did not sign up for this!
Oh no.
When we get to the bottom of the gate, are there any guards there?
No, they're all in the keep firing.
All right, then I'm gonna.
The gate is open.
I'm gonna shout to the nearest one. Where's Chinara?
I'm gonna see if any of them saw.
Can I answer the question?
Sure.
She ran around the fort to the right.
What?
It seems
One of the guards is like, what?
It seems she's going through the wall.
One of the guards, as you say that, one of the guards marches straight back up the wall to look. And then these other 2 guards are on alert with you.
Fall back when you can. I yell out. To the,
Any other player turns, or is that it?
I believe, other than Zyxx, that's it.
Okay. The face appears once more. This creature moves to the middle. All 3 of these guys are gonna have to save. One of them, this guy keeps running. He sees the cloud coming again. He starts running it, and these 2 drop. The face remains, and a light appears within the mouth, but this time instead of green, it appears to be red. It is now back to guards. 2 of them are gonna fire. Arrows fly towards this beast in the middle. These 2 guards move past you and start running out towards where, Franco, you told them where Chinara was going. They're just making a break for it. It's now player turn.
I will. I'm not in shifted form anymore. Sorry, that only lasts a minute.
A round is 6 seconds.
Oh, okay. Never
10
mind.
rounds.
10
Oh,
rounds.
sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna pull Moonbeam back on top of the creature in the middle.
You sure do. And it... Uh, 15.
Okay, so save was 12. So it'll
So it's
take,
gonna take half.
2D. So half
Ooh.
of 11.
Okay. It's definitely hurting it. Definitely doesn't like it.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna turn to Gabriel and I'm gonna say, "Here, eat this," and I'm gonna toss him a good berry.
It just hits me and falls down.
No, dude, you gotta catch it in your mouth.
All right, who else wants to go?
I just look down.
Are we running?
Call for, and I kind of brush past Marstone, charging back at this thing. Call for Zyxx, and I charge up another guided bolt.
Okay, do it up.
Who's
Level
gonna die?
1.
Is the airship in the air?
Yep.
13.
13, unfortunately, not high enough.
How high
As
in
it
the
flies. 100 feet?
All right, we ain't catching that one.
Nope.
I'm gonna stare at Marstone. Are we running? This seems to be our end if we do not run.
I would agree. We are retreating. Shannara seems to be headed into the mist for whatever reason, certain death, whatever. We need to get
That's
Zyxx.
the thing. She
Zyxx is a
wanted me
key to this.
Put it to the other side. Zyxx is not with us. Where is he?
And the soldiers.
And the soldiers. The device. What device? The one she was staring at.
Yes. And I'm gonna gather energy on my hands and I'm gonna shoot this creature one more time.
And I'm just like, can you guys figure something out? While I'm like holding Moonbeam on it.
That's a 14. It's not gonna hit, is it? Ooh, I think Hugo's gone. He
Uh-oh.
went to do a pee-pee.
The stream is still up.
Marstone,
So sorry, guys.
call for Zyxx.
A nod, and as the Warforged begins to charge up his energy attack, I'm going to use the dash action and make as much movement up the stairs and towards Zyxx's last known location
Yep.
as I can.
Yep.
And I'm going to shout out to him, Zyxx! We must retreat!
Zyxx nods at you and then comes over towards you.
Okay.
Okay, so my attack was a 14, which is gonna miss, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna start emitting again. Gabriel, this is the first time you see this. The plates of my armor separate a little bit under the plates of energy that are protecting me from the previous spell. And then I start emitting this mist as you see the energy blast, which was fire again, retracts to my hands again and shoots one more time.
Can you only do that once per day?
I can do that twice per day, and that's it.
Ooh.
And that was a 12, so that misses anyway.
Yeah. As this thing wraps around the moonbeam angrily, not sure whether to go in the direction of the guards or towards the gate where you're at. Is that everybody's player's turn?
I am gonna start running just a little bit to the other side of the gate, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm holding my ground at the gate.
Yeah, I'm staying there too.
All right.
Here we go. Oh God.
We have no idea. She's way like
She's freaking gone.
she was gone the second she turned on the
Yeah.
other side of the castle.
So, as this thing wraps around and chooses to... Yep. Actually, hold on.
Go for the guard.
Yeah. So it forgoes the guard. It forgoes the gate and starts flying upwards towards Zyxx and Marstone. And Marstone, just as you and Zyxx kind of turn around and see that it's suddenly just beelined in your direction for some reason, you look and you see from the mouth of the face in the wall the red energy coalescing in front of it, creating another elemental-like monstrosity before you hear a subtle "Ooh." And then two cracks from within the mist. As you see, almost like the face itself is being electrocuted. Bolts of electricity coursing through the face as it breathes the fire back in. as this happens, this green cloud comes towards you. And then you see all of the mist coming off of the green cloud being sucked towards the face. As almost seemingly against its will, it begins floating in that direction.
Marstone is like bracing for the kind of explosion that he thinks is going to happen.
So, everyone looks up and see this face in panic. It sucks in the green energy, starts expanding and expanding and expanding until bolts of electricity start coursing all the way up and down the wall. The face fades back into the wall. And you hear another come from inside the wall as electricity sparks all over the place. And with some of the guards still standing, one on the wall, one coming out to fight near the well, one around the corner looking for Chinara, one coming back to you guys. And the group by the gate, you all look up. And coursing with electricity, you all see the wall begin to recede backwards, revealing a shore of hundreds, maybe thousands of dead fish washed up. A gray, bluish river still. And receding all the way to the earth itself on the side of Siri for about maybe 100 feet. The earth, pale ash gray. Trees that were once on that side. Black, charred, dead husks of what they once were. And no sign of Chinara. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh,
Damn.
So, everybody, thank you so much for coming to episode 3 of the Mighty Dungeons Eberron campaign. I would have everyone in Discord now mute and deafen yourselves, and I have a special message for you guys on the live stream. For you guys are the special ones that get to witness Chinara in a full sprint with this device with a dragon shard embedded inside, holding on to much more information about the dangers of what was going on than what the characters were able to find out. Knowing that it might come to this, makes a break for the wall. She leaps into the face of the morning, sees briefly the edge of the other side of the bank, and using some of her dragon-marked magical abilities and some other magical abilities that she had, was able to get to the other side of shore easily enough. This was not the first time Chinara had been within the Mournlands. And as she ran as far as she could before turning back and seeing the monstrosities coming for the fort, being brewed on this side of the wall, she ran as far as she could. She got down on a knee, planted the device down, and activated it. As the device did its work, using its magical properties and the dragon shard's power to recede and pull back the wall to that point. For a moment, she was happy. She was satisfied. She had done her job. But what she wasn't expecting was to look up and to see something else. Very large, waiting for her in the morning. We'll find out more about her fate on future episodes. Thank you guys for coming to this episode of the Mighty Dungeon, Eberron. Keep rolling dice, take deep breaths, smile, and stay mighty. We'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.